Good afternoon and welcome to our this month's webinar. Today we will talk about collection of KPIs, we named it, and it's all around how to understand your customers better at the end of the day to increase sales. I'm very happy that so many people have joined the webinar. My name is Uwe Hennig. I'm the CEO of Detego. Some information at the beginning. This webinar will be recorded, so if you want to see it a second time or you want to share it with somebody, it's available after this webinar at our website, detego.com. If there are questions, and the last webinars we got a lot of questions, in GoToWebinar you have a chat function. There's a small screenshot here that I'm asking you to use and send us your questions. You are muted, that you can't interact immediately, but we are reading these in the chat, and at the end of this presentation we have enough time to answer questions. So today we want to talk about KPIs, and I mean one basic thing, KPIs, you have everywhere in the business, you have KPIs, key performance indicators. Key performance indicators, very basic, are milestones on your road to success. We talk about retail, so we talk about the retail success, but you have KPIs in all industries and in all business. Typical KPIs, and we have 26 retailers at this webinar. Typical KPIs, you know, from your retail business is the very, very popular one is conversion rate, and the growth of your conversion rate comparing one month with the same month in the last year. Revenue definitely is maybe the most popular KPI, but also revenue of dedicated campaigns. What is your clients, your shoppers doing on your e-commerce site? What are they putting into the basket? What are they putting out of the basket? What is the site traffic you have, and have you grown your site traffic? So a lot of investments going into this. Customer service calls, you want to reduce customer service calls. So there are a lot of KPIs, mainly in terms of sales, marketing, and customer service available already, and that's clear. And honestly, in the e-commerce business, measuring all these activities like the traffic on the website with using cookies and all the stuff is quite easy. But all these connections to your shopper, to your customers, are disappearing when we look into the in-store business, and your well-known online shopper becomes a little bit Mrs. Invisible when she's visiting your store. And today we want to look on because a big part of your business is still happening in the store, what can we deliver with today available technology for in-store KPIs? And I have a copy here of a sheet from our partner Intel, what they are using, and you see that a big part of the discovery from a shopper, and when he's browsing, when he's looking for products, when he's doing investigation, is starting online. Absolutely. We all use our smartphones on tablets and PCs to check our colors, items, and styles. At the end of the day, on this shopping journey, the most part of the transaction, 70 to 80% in fashion, still happens in a physical store. So, and seeing on the KPIs we have seen on the slide before, there's a lot of information from your e-commerce sale, but where are these KPIs when you look on your in-store business, where most of the business is happening? We call this the in-store drama, and today we want to talk about how can you get out of this in-store drama where 80% of your sales is happening. At the end of the day, you have seen that the customer journeys is leading your clients to the stores, and that's good. And we see that the e-commerce website is not only a delivery tool. The e-commerce website, if it's really good, and if you offer services like click and reserve or click and collect, the e-commerce website can help to get more traffic to the stores. There's still a lot of fashion retailers have a web shop and you can order something online, but unfortunately you can't pick it up in the store. you need to wait till the transport company delivers it to your house or wherever you are, and you can only return it on the same route. You need to put it in a box, bring it to a post office or the DHL store. You can't return it in a store. What actually we don't really understand, because the e-commerce website can be a great vehicle to create more traffic to your store, to your in-store business. And you've seen that the customer's journey is want to be ended in a store. So optimizing your in-store sales to whatever is possible is quite difficult when you are blind regarding your in-store operations, regarding who is the customer, what is he doing, and what is the interaction with your product. So everything is getting digital these days. So you see, to optimize your in-store sales, the store need to become digital. We see that a lot of reports are available already, and typically you can run reports from your point of sale system, and many retailers have cameras in the store to measure footfall, to do accounting, how many people are in the store at what moment in time, at what part of the week, comparing this month's November with last year November, has it increased. But we see a lot of these reports are, we call them yesterday reports, because you may take the POS data once per week. Maybe you're really good, and at the evening you check the POS data, but even on the evening of today you see old data, because what happens at 10 in the morning, you may look on this at 8 in the evening, but then it's already 10 hours old. And your footfall system is telling you, maybe in another silo, not even connected to your POS data, to your POS dashboard, the footfall data is telling you how many people have been in the store yesterday or last week or last month. In these days where everything is online and everything is real time, and the consumer is driving you're no longer pushing the consumer, it's a consumer-centric world, these reports are outdated. We call them yesterday reports. You want to run real-time KPIs, and you want to run immediately action based on real-time insights. How good is data from last week when you need to interact with the consumer now? It's not really a help. So this is we call that analog data. You can't use it anymore. And today's sensor technology, and we talk about IoT, we talk about Internet of the Things, and it's not only RFID, or it's not only cameras, or it's not only whatever sensor. It's a lot of different technology available that can deliver a lot of new real-time KPIs for your in-store environment. And not forgetting that 80% of your business is happening in the store, so why not measure and manage your store much better than you have been able in the past? And it's a lot of activities we can measure now with these new technology. We talk about see the whole merchandise flow. Excuse me. See how is the consumer interacting with your product. What products are getting old, what products are touched quite often, what products haven't been touched maybe for 3 months, 3 weeks. Understand the availability of staff, and understand everything in real time. So the POS data, the people counting, the use of merchandise, the consumer flow, the consumer interaction. All these new technology in real time can give you all the insights you need to have to better manage your store. But it's not only on one store. There are dashboards and KPIs available now in real time, where you can one store compare with another store, and you can drive your activity to the right location. So you see later that all the stuff we have done in the past, take a weekly report on how good has been this marketing campaign in last week in all the stores. Now you can drill down in real time in one store where you may see, oh, there's a problem coming, so you can focus your activity as a regional manager, as a branch manager, really to the location where the action is required. Aging of merchandise, I think this is a very important KPI. You do not want to get stuff old. We want to sell stuff for full price, not discount it. And all these things are now available using technology. So how does it work? On this slide you see on the left side, this is your store, and there is RFID ceiling readers. So RFID readers in the ceiling of your store, and RFID tag garments that we see more and more and more, that fashion items have an RFID tag. So you can read these tags fully automated. There is nobody involved with a handheld computer and need to do a stock take. It's always online, what is available in what zone in the store, what is happening, for example, in the fitting room of the store. Cameras can be installed. It can be one system where RFID and cameras can be one system, vision technology, variables, even Wi-Fi tracking, where you see smartphones and. So there's a lot of technology available. Technology needs to deliver value, and we do not want to track consumers with smartphones and spam them. Consumers would never accept that. We need to consider, and we need to be aware of data privacy and all this stuff. But there is a lot of sensor technology available now, and it's working, and the performance is quite good. That if you see on the right side of this slide, it then goes into a database, and just storing the data in the database is delivering no value at all. And we will see later on this webinar that people are tired of having even more dashboards and more Excel sheets and more reports. The idea of using this data is put it into the system in real time. The system is processing the data, and inbuilt into the system is what we call a recommendation engine. And this is not recommending fashion items to the shopper. It's not recommending the white shirt to the blue trousers. It's recommending to the in-store people what they have to do. So the idea of these new KPIs is not to produce another dashboard nobody's using. The idea is to provide insight and a clear recommendation to a store person. Please do this. Please replenish this item from the back room through the front room. Maybe to a marketing person, the combination of products that customers always using are the same in this and this and this store. You may want to run a campaign of it. You may want to bundle it. So there's a lot of data available. At the end of the day, we do this real-time in-store insights to grow in sales, and in the same moment in time to optimize your operations, to get much more efficient. And real-time in-store insights delivering, for example, the very basic but very important KPI, stock accuracy in all your system, and we see these systems delivering stock accuracy very close to 100%. Customers using this technology, customers using a Detego software product, delivering stock accuracy of 99.5, 99.8, so very close to 100%. Stock accuracy in each involved IT system that delivers value to your customer, that enables you to say yes to your customer, whatever time, whichever location. And having this accurate data, you can measure your on-shelf availability. And measuring on-shelf availability and having a very high on-shelf availability is just delivering the maximum opportunity to sell an item. If it's not in front of the customer can't find it, he can't buy it, it's a no sale. Another very important KPI we see with using IoT and sensor technology is what we call the aging structure and the consumer interaction. Aging structure, if you see items on the shelf not have been touched, not have been moved to a fitting room for weeks, why do you want to keep them longer on that shelf? Why not compare, are these items, these styles, these colors, even these sizes of this article, are they maybe a very good product in another store, a very good seller maybe in a complete different sales region? Why do we want to get these items even older? We know we will discount them. Before they're getting old, why not move it to a location where the customer wants to buy it? So having this aging structure, having the inventory aging, the whole idea around avoiding more markdowns, and at the end of the day increase the gross margin because you're selling more products to a full price. The other insight you're getting is how much inventory do you have in total in one store? In the back room, in the front room. Maybe you take a, whatever, in mainstream business, a typical store with, let's say, 4,000 items you have on the sales floor and you have some items in the back room. But maybe your merchandise people, your merchandise planner know that a good number is to have 3,500 items in the sales floor, on the shelves, and. Why always overstock the store? Because all material that is in the store but don't have to be there need to be counted, need to be managed. At the end of the day, lowering inventory means less material to manage, and it means less working capital. Retailers don't know how many items they have in the store all the time, but all this data is now available. Marketing campaign effectiveness. We think this is a very important KPI when you're running several stores and your marketing team is doing a great job by bringing even more customers to the store. But how good is a marketing campaign when consumers coming to the store and they can't find the item because maybe the store people have been busy and exactly these articles are still in the back room, are still maybe sitting in a box in the back room, and people got no time or they've forgotten to put it on the shelves. Consumers coming to the store can't find the item, turning around and leaving the store. With sensor technology, you can measure on an item level, on box level, what articles has left the distribution center for this campaign. Yes, they have arrived the store. Yes, they are on the shelf, but maybe in one store, yes, they have arrived in the store, but they are not on the shelf because people got no time to move it from the back room to the front room. So the effectiveness of a marketing campaign can be measured immediately. But even when the marketing campaign is running, we can measure what are the items who are often touched, who are often moved to fitting rooms, what are items getting old. So a lot of insights sitting in this, and knowing how many customers you're having in the store at what moment in time, knowing how many replenishments from the back room to the front room you have to do, knowing how many items are in transit from the distribution center to your store, gives you the opportunity to improve also the use of staff. How many people do you need in the store? How many people do you need to do what kind of job? So there's a lot of data available here. At the end of the day, what we want to do is you connect all the consumers' in-store activity also to the profile of this individual customer he has left already on your e-commerce site. So using the smartphone of a consumer, you can track, because a smartphone has an individual MAC address, you can track individual consumers when they allow it to you and give you access to it. Again, you need to deliver value to your shoppers. You do not want to spam them and. But once a customer is happy with your service and the customer is giving you access to his smartphone so you know his MAC address, you could even link the consumer when he's coming to the store and you understand his activity on his web profile. You can give this data to the store manager and say, well, one of your best clients is in the store. We know from his web profile what he has served last night. We know if exactly this item is in the back room or in the front room, so we can offer him much more service, so we create value, so he will come back. So the whole idea of using IoT technology, sensor technology, using that in real time, connecting all in-store insights to individual helps you to better manage your business, and still remembering that 80% of your business is in the store. Let's look into one example. So an example we have implemented in customers, and what are the customers receiving using this KPI? We call this KPI fitting room conversion rate. And that's something we have implemented with using a fixed RFID reader above fitting rooms. And the idea is not to have, in this example, to have the whole store implemented fixed readers. Why not put the store into zones and we only measure the fitting rooms? So all items are RFID tagged, but in these days with the very low price of RFID tags, it's no longer an issue anymore. But measuring using the ceiling readers, we now can measure what items are going into the fitting room and how frequent are items going to fitting rooms. Another interesting idea is extremely very well received for merchandisers is what items going jointly to fitting rooms. Quite interesting insight we find in this customer is, for example, that the combination of products people bringing to fitting rooms is different to the combination of products people combining on the e-commerce side. But that's clear because in a store you physically can touch an item, you see the real color, and having this insight, so what are the bundles customers creating, let's say what are the top 3 bundles, offers you an opportunity to maybe build these bundles, offer discounts, and be proactive with the customer. The next KPI from this information is very important, is what items going to fitting room, arriving also at the point of sale. So your customer is putting the items on, he loves it, he's buying it. What are the items always arriving in the fitting room but have not been bought? And if you see that in more and more stores that items are quite often to fitting rooms but never have been bought, you may want to investigate what are wrong with these items. And these are the insights you don't have yet. If you want to see this live, we can show this customer example to you, so please check with our salespeople for a site visit. I think this is a very easy example, but it shows you an extremely big value with technology that is available, and the performance is great and the technology is not important and not expensive anymore. So that was one example. What are the takeaways before we now go to the questions? And I've received some questions in the chat. What are the takeaways we want you to take home? The first one is very basic, and it's not from Detego. Robert Kaplan has written that actually in a book in 1992. Very basic, but you can't manage what you don't measure. I mean, we know this. So my maybe provocative question: how do you manage your store when you don't measure it? The in-store insights from the store where most of your business is happening are available now. People may say, wow, well, that's a big project, and we have so many projects on your list, and I see from the webinar attendees here, we have some IT people here, and IT people are always busy because there's so many projects. But we are asking you, which of your projects delivers a sales uplift, avoiding margin declining, brings massive, really massive efficiency wins, and build these consumer-centric KPIs all in one project, all in one product, and honestly a very easy to trial and very easy to implement product. And this is what these KPIs, what this technology can bring. I want to run now through some questions, and we are still 38 people in the webinar. I see one of the questions is, we are running reports from our in-store business based on the POS data. What is the difference your KPIs are providing? Oh, interesting question. So somebody is, what I think I said in the beginning, somebody's analyzing already the point of sale data, and our POS system bringing these things, the day reports, the weekly reports, the monthly reports. What's the difference to the KPIs we have shown here is, I mean, the Detego solution delivers complete new KPIs. You've seen that with that fitting room activity. You can't measure this with your POS. In the point of sale, you only see the yes sale, but we can deliver the KPIs, what we call the no sales, and the aging of the stock on your sales floor. Yes, you can run reports on this, but you can maybe do this on article level. Can you do this on item level? No, you can't. And all the interaction of consumers, how often are items replenished, how often are items moved into different zone, into the fitting room. So you can, with all these aging data, you can act before the stock is getting old. And I think that these are some of the differences from these new KPIs to POS reports. And I think we have seen other examples as well. Let me look at another question here. Can you compare data from store to store? Yeah, if we can compare store to stores or region to regions, absolutely. I haven't got a screenshot here, but we have built a KPI, what we call the store performance, and that is measured, what we are measuring is the on-stock, on-floor availability, and we're comparing stores with stores. So a regional manager can see, let's say, oh, the store in London is good, the store in Manchester is good. What with this store in Cologne? It got the same products, but they're not on the shelf. So the idea is that you can interact with the store where there's an action required, and you do not have to run through all the reports from all the stores. It's really very, very focused. Yes, we can compare store to stores. There's another question. How can I see if an article we have in actual marketing? It's around marketing campaign. I think we spoke about that, measuring the effectiveness. In our database, in our system, we have something what we call an article activity index. So we can see how often are items replenished from backroom to front room, how often are items bought, how often are items moved to fitting room. And that's what we call an article activity index. And this is an information we typically give to marketing people, to merchandisers, and it's all in real time. So they don't take a report that is a month old. They see it if they like on a daily basis. They can see it from store to store. Again, real time is quite important here. Well, that's an interesting question, and we hear this quite often speaking to so many fashion retailers. We have a lot of dashboards already in our company. Or people are tired. Yeah, people are tired of seeing more dashboards. And some of the dashboards they don't understand. Well, why do we need more KPIs? Well, that's a nice question. I like it. Thank you very much. So the question is, we have already enough dashboards, and why do we need even more? Honestly, we know there's a lot of reports in your companies, and there's a lot of Excel sheets, and people are tired of, we call it static reports. Sometimes people see the spreadsheets or they don't even have the time to see it, but sometimes they don't know what to do with it. And people interpreting Excel sheets in different ways. The only thing I can say is our customers receiving KPIs, but we also deliver to them clear recommendations what to do. So we use these KPIs, but the system is delivering to the store person, do this, don't do this, replenish this, and. So the idea is not to produce another dashboard, but to give clear recommendation, and that is coming out of the recommendation engine. I think there's time for last question. What's this here? What optimization have you seen with customers using these KPIs? Okay. So yeah, what are we doing with the KPIs? I mean, very clear is that having this visibility of all in-store activities, you just become more efficient. You have the right stock in the right location. So the idea is really maximize the opportunity to sell with lower cost and to give your customers the best available service. And let's be honest, for fashion retailer, where so much sale is still in the store, you want to differentiate from your competitor, and you want to deliver the best service to your customer, that your customer is coming back. I hope this webinar was useful for you. Again, it's recorded. If you want to see it a second time, you want to share it with a colleague. There's the next webinar is we're close to Christmas. In January, Detego will be at NRF in New York, and we will run the next webinar in February. Thank you very much for participating, and see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.